Welcome to Party Corner, the home of insanity most of the time. And yeah, we get a lot of people that want a lot of different things, so we try to have a lot of different things in the store. This is probably my favorite area. This is the rental costumes. We have over 4,000 rental costumes in here, and it is an absolute nightmare to categorize them and know where they are. So we try our best. We have the signs that say like what is in what area and all of that, and there's just a lot. There's just a lot. But you know what? I mean, it's not too often that I get asked for stuff we don't have, which is kind of cool. So like, as you can see, it's a fairly extensive collection. And yeah, when things get misplaced, sometimes it takes me like days to find them, like literally days to find them, because they could be anywhere. If it's not where it's supposed to be, it's somewhere else. And then we have to go looking for it, which is not a lot of fun sometimes. But yeah, so rental costumes. We have tons of fun dressing up back here, helping other people dress up. Not back here in the change rooms, but actually we did have that one time. I came back here and they were just like changing in the middle, and I was like, oh, we have change rooms, and he's like, no, that's fine, just taking his pants off. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask you to go to the change rooms. It's like, I don't know, I mean, there's something to be said about being comfortable with yourself, but maybe not that comfortable. So my name is Missy, or Miss E. That's my designer / joke name. And people are like, wait a minute, is it Miss E or Missy? And I'm like, whatever, it's kind of one and the same, it doesn't matter to me. So Party Corner was not originally mine. It has been around since the 1980s, and it was begun by a lovely Czech woman named Georgina. And then I came down to Guelph to go to university. I went to school for theater. I don't know that you can tell, but I was a drama kid once upon a time. And I didn't know, like when I first started doing theater, I thought that maybe I would be, you know, an actor. And then I realized that to be an actor, you have to be able to look like a lot of different characters and portray a lot of different characters. And I always look very much like myself. So I went into the costume shop at the university, and I kind of never came out. And that kind of worked for me because my grandmother sewed, and I always wanted to learn how to sew, but she unfortunately passed away when I didn't learn from her in time. So that was a cool way for me to learn. And then I kind of learned that like, sewing is my passion. That's what I want to do. And you know, I didn't know that this was where I would end up, but I feel like it's a really good fit, and I really enjoy being here, and I think it's the right thing for me. And then like we also do balloons because I am a girl of all trades. And like, let me tell you how surprised people are when I show up and say I'm your decorator. It's usually like, oh, church decorating, no problem. I can build you a big balloon arch. It's gonna be lovely. But like, and people are always really happy because I do a good job. It's just the initial shock of like, you're the decorator, right? But like, you know, it always works out. It always works out once they figure out that I'm not gonna like bite them or something. Like, it's, you'd be surprised, honestly. Obviously, I am not a girl that likes to wear like pink or, you know, be particularly girly. But I always say like, especially in here, if you're gonna wear a costume, like wear something that's not you. Right? Because then it's not a costume if it's too close to what you are. So sometimes I'll, like on 70s Day, I'll go out of my way to wear like a Pepto-Bismol pink dress and like a pink afro and stuff, because that, I don't necessarily feel comfortable in that, right? It's not really me, but like, I think if you are too trapped in your own comfort, that you become stagnant. Does that make sense? I feel like it's good for people to like push their own boundaries and see what they're capable of. And like, I go out of my way sometimes to find something I don't like about myself, because everybody, no matter your size, your age, your height, your weight, whatever, everybody has things about their body they're not comfortable about. That's just the thing. So I will find the things about myself, like I didn't used to like to wear bare arms because I was very self-conscious about my upper arms up here. So I would go out of my way to force myself to wear tank tops and vests and stuff to like get over that, because I feel like if you can display a part of yourself that you're uncomfortable with and become comfortable with it, like that's awesome. That's an awesome thing, right? So I feel like it's really healthy for people to step outside their comfort zone, and even just temporarily, not forever, you know, and just try something different. Like, what does it hurt? Try it. You don't have to do it again if you don't like it, right? So, ta-da. And then everything else in the store is sort of organized by categories. So we have like tights here, feather boas, masquerade masks, lots of masquerade masks. We do lots of masquerade parties. And then the other masks, so this is more like rubber and Halloween masks here. Rubber masks all up on the wall. That's what's going around. Cool.
Yep.
All right. And then we have tutus here, lots of tutus, kids' costumes. And then this is hats. Lots of hats here at the front door. Ears, animal ears and tails in here. And this is sort of like gore props up here. But something else I would like to point out is we also do, we have a few independent artisans that design for us. So we have a lady that makes us these super cool, like glam junk hats and glam necklaces. This is a dress that actually I made, this one. This was from our last fashion show. We did a David Bowie inspired glam rock fashion show last winter, and this was one of the things that my models wore, and it was really exciting. Who inspires me? All right, well, there are a lot of independent designers, men and women, but a lot of them are women, online that I see, that I follow, that are my sense of fashion, that make like really crazy, you know, death rock or post-apocalyptic or really insane like esoteric fashions, and I love that stuff because you look at it and you're like, yes, this makes me creative and it gives me ideas to like make my own stuff, and like that's very cool. And that's just, you know, me sitting and looking at my tablet really. But in real life, the people that inspire me are, I have a few friends that sew, and my very best friend, Scary Carrie, she owns Black Orchid Designs in Cambridge, and we sew together almost every Monday, and she inspires me a lot creatively because it's like we have the same brain, like she's in my head and we understand each other creatively. So when we talk, I'll be like, oh, Carrie, like I have this amazing creative idea, and she'll be like, yes, but what if you added this to it? And I'm like, yes, and then it just keeps building and building and building, right? So there's actually 3 of us girls that we all sew together, and we all have our own fortes, even though we're in the same fashion sense, basically. So it's very cool that way, that they're actual ladies that I know in real life that enjoy the same things that I enjoy, and they understand my, well, first of all, my creativity, but second of all, my struggles. If I'm making something that I've never done before, I'll be like, hey, I'm doing this, you know, I'm having trouble at this spot, have you ever done this before? And they'll be like, yes, I have, this is what I did, or no, I haven't, but here's a thought, why don't you try this, right? And that helps you sort of through your frustrating sewing problems or whatever. And both of them also own their own businesses, so like when I have frustrations or I've had a bad day at work or even something really great that's happened, I can tell them and they understand and they appreciate it because they're also there themselves. So, and then this is the eyelash case, which is also one of my favorite things in the store, because I know you thought these were natural, but like, they're not. I am constantly thinking, like when I'm at home, like even on my days off or at nights, if I'm just sitting watching TV, I'm usually hand sewing for work, right? Gotta fix these buttons on this military costume, gotta get my banking ready for the morning, gotta like, you know what I mean? And then I gotta think, it's like packing a suitcase every day for what I need for work. It's like I gotta remember to bring the steampunk goggles, and I have to remember the special sewing scissors for the, you know, so I have to remember what I need for that day, and it goes through my head like a lot when I'm not home. And on my days off, I do repair work and sewing for the store, like I'm creating custom stuff for people. So I certainly don't get as much me time as I would like, but part and parcel, part and parcel. I try to have things that I, like movies and stuff or TV shows that I really enjoy, but that it has to be something that I've seen a lot of times over and over again, so that my brain doesn't have to like pay attention to it specifically. And I try to like, you know, make a comfortable place, so whether that's comfortable pajamas, pillows, a comfortable space that I like, whatever mood I happen to be in, I make a space that's comfortable for me at that time, and then I put on a movie or a TV show that I've seen 1,000 times before, so I can kind of just like let my head relax, if that makes sense, like detox my head, so it doesn't have to think about all of the work things that I probably should be thinking about. But this is my sewing machine. This is my sewing machine. It's my Kenmore from the 1960s, and I make like industrial, like heavy leather corsets and stuff, and people are always like, what kind of machine must you have to be able to do these things? And I'm like, honestly, it's like my grandmother's Kenmore, and like they can't believe it, but this thing's a tank. This is the beast that handles like all of my sewing. And yeah, I couldn't ask for a better machine. I love this thing. I don't know what I'd do without it, honestly. So this is where the magic happens.
All right, if you were sitting down with a young entrepreneur and they asked you for one piece of advice, what would you give them?
You gotta work hard. You gotta work really, really hard. It's not 9 to 5. You don't get weekends off. It's not 8-hour days, right? Like even when I'm not here, like I have things that I have to do before work for the store. I have things that I have to do after work for the store. Like my days off are often sewing for the store. Like it's constantly on my mind everywhere I am, everything I'm doing. It's not like you can't just leave your work, if you know what I mean. So like you got to be prepared to like put your heart and soul into it and just like give her 110%.